Alright, so welcome back to another episode of Landscaping with the Midlifers.
Oh my god, this shit is so
I've
heavy.
been taking a lot of landscape photos recently, and we're here at a fantastic place at Marina.
I don't even know where we
so
are.
I have got Prash along with me today, and not to be outdone by my high megapixel camera,
I'm lugging this
he has
thing.
gotten a film high megapixel camera. So, hi Prash, what you got today?
Okay, so I succumbed and I bought a I bought a large format camera. So this is I haven't bought a Leica yet.
Yes.
So this is a Toyo VX125. Okay, so it's a monorail camera. It's one of the lightest monorail 4x5.
This is one of the lightest cameras.
Yeah, one of the lightest monorail cameras. Like, there are lighter cameras out there, but they are field cameras.
Okay,
so we're gonna try to take some large format images, but I still don't have like my film holders and all that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna use a Graflok bag and take some Instax wide shots with this.
So
okay?
I'm gonna be behind the camera again, and Prash gonna take over.
Okay, let's start. Alright, so I just recently got this Toyo VX125 camera. Comes in this beautiful jade green color, which is very eye-catching. The reason why I got a 4x5 camera is I've always been wanting to shoot large format Polaroids, so 8x10, but 8x10 equipment is very, very expensive, and I'm worried that if I buy one and I just shoot a few 8x10s and I get bored of it. So I thought I'd take a small step first. I'll shoot on a 4x5 camera, see whether I like it, like the workflow, because I know your photography has to be a bit more intentional. And if I like it, then I will expand. From what I understand, this camera can be modified to take 8x10 back. So as long as I get the appropriate lenses and accessories, I think we can do that. But this is just a small step to see whether this is the kind of photography I want to do. I didn't want to spend too much money getting like the best of the best, but this isn't a cheap camera, so I'm hoping if I don't like it, I can still resell it for a decent price lah. So let's take a few moments, let's set it up properly, and then I'll take the scenery around us. Okay, so this is a 4x5 camera, as you know. This is a monorail camera, so it has this rail which the front and rear standards are attached to. There's also field cameras, there's technical cameras, but I found this to be like what I needed the most. I needed the movements, and I wanted something light enough that I could carry on the field, but it being not a field camera, it's not very compact to pack. So that's why, as you see, it's quite bulky. And despite all my research, it comes with a proprietary plate that I can't seem to find the actual plate to attach it to. So now I'm using Ian's tripod. One of these things with large format cameras is you need a really, really sturdy tripod. So we got one here. I'm gonna just mount it to it. I don't have a sturdy tripod at home. So we're just gonna place it in and then secure it. And we should be starting to shoot soon. All right, so I've mounted the camera, as you can see. We're gonna take a photo of this tree right here. It's just a very simple shot for the viewers out there. Then I'm gonna show you how this camera kind of functions, what we're gonna look at and all that. I have a lens mounted to the front already, so let's take a look at the back, and I'm gonna explain a bit about the movements of this camera. Since we're using a Lomograflok bag, the Lomograflok comes with its own spacers to offset the film distance. It also helps with the composition of the image. So all you do is you just slide it to where your film should go. So we're just gonna slot it all the way in, make sure it's inside. So because of that, I have to recompensate the distance. This is a 90mm lens, so I'm just gonna move this back, okay, and get it roughly in position. I'm gonna do a bit of rise just to frame the image a bit better. Oh, is it raining? Shit. So ideally, you should be using a loop to make sure it's precise. And then I'm just gonna lock in everything. So let's switch the back out, and then we'll put in the actual Lomograflok and take an image. So this is the annoying bit about using the Lomograflok. You have to make sure you remove everything nicely. Okay, so I'm gonna eject the first shot out, which is just the dark slide. And since the Lomograflok uses the Graflok system, it just attaches seamlessly to this back. Just have to secure it here and here. So let's now meter the scene real quick and take a shot. Okay, so I brought a seconic spot meter. It's a 5-degree spot meter. I'm gonna meter for the trunk there area and maybe just underexpose it ever so slightly. Then once I get the values at ISO 800, I'm gonna input it into the lens. So I'm getting f16 at 1/30. So I will underexpose it slightly because that's the darker part of the image. I probably will underexpose that part by about 2 stops. So I'll shoot it at f16, 120 around there, 125. Let's see. Okay.
Okay, so This might seem like a super tedious process, and when I use my digital camera, I just basically put it on a tripod and take the shot. So this takes way more time and effort. However, just look at where we are. We are by the sea, we're enjoying ourselves, having a great time. So I think taking the camera out is the activity in itself. So
so we kind of enjoy the process. Like, it's not so much about taking like 50 nice images of the sunrise, sunset or whatever. You just need actually one nice image from the whole outing.
And the image will remind us of the beautiful day we had.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we're going to do the boring stuff about setting the shutter speed.
So let's do the settings now. I just set the settings. I've closed the aperture. So I'm going to now remove the dark slide from the back and we're going to take a shot. All right, so we have this 90mm Schneider Kreuner, I don't know how to pronounce it, lens. It's mounted to a Linhof board, which is mounted to a Toyo adapter board, okay? So there's quite a few parts here. The lens itself, it comes in a few parts. They're mounted to the board and the shutter mechanism is right here. So down here, this lever here controls the aperture. So I'm going to put it to f16 right here. And you'll see this silver part, this controls the shutter speed. So I can move it back and forth. It goes to about 1/500. And this part here, you can't really see there's a lever. I'm just going to press it down. That will cock the shutter. And I'll just make sure that the aperture and all that is closed so that when I remove the dark slide at the back, no light goes in. The problem with this recessed board is that it uses a proprietary Linhof quick adapter for the shutter release cable. Unfortunately, I don't have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to manually release the shutter down here. So I'm going to just show you since the dark slide is still in the back. So I'm just going to do a quick movement like that and that will release the shutter. So you would have heard the shutter just now. I'm going to cock it again and let's take the image after removing the dark slide. So since I don't have a shutter release, I'm just going to remove the dark slide from the back, okay? And I'm actually going to use the dark slide to touch the shutter release in a very pinpoint, scientific, precise manner. Okay, it's done. So now I'm going to put the dark slide back in and I'm going to eject our first film. Let's see what we get. Super excited, super excited. So let's wait a few seconds and we see what we get. All right, so this is the shot. It's still developing right now, but I think Ian will post the developed shot after I scan it in. It seems to be coming out nicely. It looks super sharp. Exposure seems to be right now, but let's see how it develops a bit. I actually enjoyed myself, okay? Let's be honest. It's not a fantastic like scene or composition, but this is my first shot with this camera. So let me use it a few more times and I hope I can get some Ansel Adams like shots of landscapes. Singapore doesn't really have much landscapes, but I hope maybe architectural shots, I don't know. Okay. I need to justify this purchase. So
I need to butt in again. So he was just saying I'm becoming an uncle because I started like using telephoto lenses and becoming a birder, right? He's got a 4x5 and doing landscapes.
Actually, so the next thing I'm gonna get is I'm gonna get one of those Ansel Adams like hats.
The hat.
Yeah, the hat. Okay, gotta fit the mold. You know, can't dress like a hipster anymore and carry a like a.
So if you enjoyed our transition towards the real Midlifers, please like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.